Hi, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and I am continuing the series on anthropology topic, meaning, scope and development of anthropology. So, as I have said, that how it is so very important for us to write good answers. Communication skills are the most vital part in cracking any competitive exams, particularly UPSC exams. Now, in previous lectures, I have established the meaning of anthropology. I have also reflected on its core characteristics to define it, that how it is about holism, how it is about comparative, systematic study of human evolution. I have also discussed about time and space zone. And then I reflected in my previous lecture that how anthropology is reflecting on humanity. Anthropology is in the service to promote an atmosphere where humanity is being celebrated. We are not having any sort of discrimination. We are not fighting with each other on racism. On its contrary, we are acknowledging our diversities. That is what cultural relativism. So, cultural relativism is a process, it's a feeling in which we are respecting each other's cultural values. Ethnocentrism is the reason why we are having negative connotations for other races if they are having different ways of life. That is culture. Now, after establishing this core concept, we need to know how to write in answers in exams, because this is such a difficult exam. You are competing with best of minds already, because those who decide that they want to prepare for UPSC, they are not the ordinary students or ordinary persons. They are the warriors, because they have chosen a difficult path to make their life, to make their identity. So today's, in this backdrop, I am explaining introductions to Immanuel Kant's anthropology. So anthropology from a pragmatic point of view. Read this paragraph and try to have value addition in understanding about the meaning of anthropology, what can be the scope of anthropology, how it got developed. So the philosophical anthropology not only tells us who we are. So when you are referring to your biological evolution, that is 1.4 topic. So there is one topic, pre-Darwinian phase. Pre-Darwinian phase is an explanation towards humans' evolution in philosophical manner. So philosophical anthropology, it is here telling, not only tells us who we are, where we are going, but also how to live a free life. And this is the correct explanation of anthropology. Before even biology, before even chemistry, physics, and so on, we did have all the answers about our physical, natural worlds in theology. Our scriptures were telling us, for example, you have biblical explanation, which was telling us that how God has created Adam and Eve and all those stories, how we have got language, why we are different from other living organisms or, species. So anthropology, pragmatic anthropology is explaining in all the dimensions, and this is proving holistic characteristics of anthropology. Okay, so it is an exciting perspective that could radically transform our thinking about the purpose of life, the education of human beings, the psychological life of human beings, the social existence of human beings, the religious orientation of people, as well as our understanding of our relation to the earth and animals. It is definitely worthy of study and consideration. So when we are learning how we have evolved, we need to know about our earth. We need to have this story of what had happened 4.6 billion years ago. We need to know about the Big Bang theory. We need to know that how earth got some favorable conditions because of which today we have got the life forms. That is a chemical reactions which we need to understand, even to understand human evolution, because there was no bacteria initially, no, there was no DNA initially. It was a chemical reaction between some atoms and molecules. So we did have hydrogen, we did have carbons, this was happening in water. How come it was there? So what was the primordial condition of earth? The kind of earth which we see as blue planet, it was not like that before all these planets when it got come into the existence. So earth was having volcanic eruption. There was no ozone layers. But then slowly and gradually, because of chemical reaction, because of environmental changes, we have got the condition where life originated. And then we are going to understand what was happening during Mesozoic period. Then how come, simple cellular organisms have started originating in water. Then how come we have got reptiles, we have got fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammal-like reptiles. What had happened 65 million years ago? So we are learning that. So that is what anthropology is. It is not archaeology only, it is not biology only, it is not physics, social culture, it is actually philosophy. Anthropology is a philosophy, is a social context to understand about humans. This is what Immanuel Kant is saying. Dr. Huma Hassan is not saying this. It is Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant is telling you that please understand what anthropology is. Anthropology is not what you people are learning from some YouTubers, even from me. I am not saying. It is Immanuel Kant who is saying. People are choosing anthropology, or some people are scared of anthropology because of biological part. They are thinking it is biology. No, it is not biology. It is about philosophy. In order to understand humans, we are trying to understand earth and animals. We are not very much interested how chimpanzees are living. We are not primatologists. We are not Jane Goodall. We are not very much interested what Jane Goodall is doing. But we are interested, that is why UPSC did ask question on primatology referring to Jane Goodall. Why? Because she is observing primates and then she is reflecting on social organizations. That how primates are very much similar to humans in living their life. So to understand present humans, we are trying to understand closest living species who also walk sometimes on bipedal, on their two limbs. They also have nails. They also have very similarities with us. So this is philosophy. Anthropology is philosophy. We are learning about all this in order to understand about human beings. This is a pragmatic view of anthropology, guys. This is what you need to understand. That is why we are understanding the social existence of human beings. We are referring to the religious being. Why are we reading about fossil evidences? So when UPSC is asking you question on Australopithecines, the characteristics, okay? So why there are two genera, Australopithecines में Africanus, Paranthropus, Gracile, Robustus. So when we are learning about that, so we are trying to know that, okay, Australopithecines in 1.5, in 1.6 topic is the common link between humans and apes. Because anthropology is a scientific narrative. It is not on the basis of common sense. Yet it is not paleontology. I would be interesting to know about the controversies with respect to Neanderthals. But it is not about excavations. It is not at all about current affairs. The major myth in sociology, also in anthropology, that you need to have current affairs, you need to know, understand current affairs. It is not current affairs. You can refer it, but it is not current affairs. It is not about where China is getting some fossil evidences. It's okay. If it is creating some story to understand human evolution, we may write it, but we do not have to write exclusively about it. Okay, so first of all, we have to be extremely clearer what is anthropology. Okay, most of the students even do not know the correct definition of anthropology. They think that, okay, anthropology is a study of tribal groups. This is one of the myths. You do have misconceptions about anthropology. I have written in my PPT somewhere about the misconceptions about anthropology, right? I would talk about that later on. But if I'll just say, one of the misconception is that it is about the study of primitive societies, it is all about social culture. But you are reading, it is action anthropology as well. You would see that how the knowledge of anthropology is in so demand. Astronauts cannot go into the space if this anthropologists who have trained in anthropometry would not design their suits. UPSC did ask question on this. Okay, because anthropologists, physical anthropologists, they or social cultural anthropologists, they do have vast understanding regarding humans. So this is what anthropology is. Okay, so in pragmatic anthropology, I would say this is what you can refer if question comes to you, that how anthropology is unique discipline. Okay, where you need to show that what is anthropology, how you can define anthropology. So it's just not about defining anthropology with Jacob and Stern definition, or because some student have now know about Aristotle definition of anthropology, that it is in the love gossip of mankind, regarding humans. You need to write very good content. Okay, so in this is one of the references which I often tell to my students. It is now for everyone, because I believe it's a high time. It's a high time. Aspirants are not understanding what is anthropology and how you people have to deal with it. Most of the students, or I would say most of the people who are in this coaching industry, love to give gyan, love to give lecture that this is what you have to do in anthropology, this is what anthropology is. They do not even know what is anthropology, and then they are teaching anthropology. It is up to you. Do not even listen to me. See to it what I am saying. Do your little bit of research and understand the correct understanding or the meaning of anthropology. I hope you must have got some guidance with my respect, with respect to this particular pragmatic anthropology. Okay, and you would be on right path to deal with anthropology optional paper. Thank you.